We're looking for an attorney with experience in property law and civil rights law to help us with property issues at our house at 116 Glover Street in the town of Boonton, New Jersey. I'm not a surveyor, lawyer, or in real estate, so I might misinterpret some data. The following is my opinion. This is the area that our house is located in that was drawn out by Benjamin Room in 1867. Our block was 350 feet by 350 feet. This section right here is where our house is currently located. And you notice that this property distance from Old Road was 200 feet, and that matched the distance of the Paul Glover lot back in 1867. And this property line is directly across the street from that property line. In 1869, Oak Street was widened, and from this point south, land was taken from the western side of the property from William A. Richter. And on the eastern side of the property, it was taken from Holmes and Milliner, who were developing the Lowery Farm. And so I believe that's how the bend in the road went from being over here in the Paul Glover lot to being in the Richard James lot. But you'll notice that this property line is still directly across the street from this property line. When we bought our house, our title insurance company and surveyor gave us the rights to John Street, which was abandoned in 1948. But they made a mistake. That section of John Street was given to the properties above us in exchange for view rights across John Street, the right to connect to utilities on the Horizon Drive, a right-of-way to Horizon Drive, and a caveat that no building shall be built in the abandoned road bed of John Street as it runs along Nelson, from Nelson Avenue to Glover Street. We got a couple more surveys, and they were still erroneous. As you can see, this map shows that basically our block has shrunk from 350 feet by 350 feet to 350 feet by 325 feet. So 25 feet is missing. And you can see where the 25 feet is right here. They've shown that this is where our property line is, and it's 25 feet offset from this property line, or 20-some feet. And originally, these things were directly across the street from each other. How did they get offset? Well, I believe what happened is shown here in this 1948 Boonton Township map. It shows this little road along the town line. And I believe that this is our driveway. And somewhere between 1867 and 1874, 25 feet was taken from the properties below us. And in 1949, an unnamed road was abandoned. And I believe that was our driveway. That provided access to our property, and it provided access to the back sides of the properties along Oak Road. And here's the angles of our properties. You can see that they've changed a great deal over time. The angle on John Street went from 5 degrees to 11 degrees, and then back to 5 degrees. Nelson went from 76 to 71, 70, 70, 75, 76. Land is moving around, the angles are changing, I'm getting seasick. And here's a overhead photograph of our property from the county with the tax map superimposed on it, and you see there's no straight lines anymore. All the lines are bent. And I believe that this bend in the road should be the middle line of Nelson Avenue, and it should be, my guess is that's where it meets John Street. So I believe that this is where John Street should be, and that our property was moved to the west to accommodate town officials here and here. And if you measure from here down to Oak Street, that's approximately 350 feet. Now there's another complication. We've got a couple deeds missing from our chain of title. Charlotte Taylor's deed from June 25, 1896, and Mary Jane Graham's deed from August 20, 1881. Where are they? Trees were chopped on the boundary area in dispute. Trailer pad was built on our water line. A building was built, all this without notification. Second story added, yet down the street people had to give notification. Here, there's no notification when a fire chief builds something. Are fire chiefs exempt? Our deed and chain of title both say that our property is in the township of Boonton, not the town of Boonton. Town lines can only be changed by an act of legislature, and the portion of the Boonton Township line that we live on was established in 1867 and has never been changed. This 2002 overhead map from the state shows the town line running right through our front yard with us on the Boonton Township line. It's got this number 284 next to it. And here's the 1948 zoning map showing the town line in the same location. Here's that 284. This is our house. Does that 284 refer to this monument that's next to our property, inside of our property? And here again is another map from 1950s when Ralph Toulouse owned our property, showing the Boonton Township line running through our front yard. So I believe I've shown that our property has been shifted to the west. Land can be taken by adverse possession, but the test for adverse possession is that the land must be taking of the land must be open and notorious. If you move the land and easement rights, then it's not open, in my opinion. My neighbors have enforced their scenic easement rights at the new easement line, while all of our easement rights have been ignored. I believe that our civil rights have been violated by the title insurance company and the second and third surveyors, who have not supplied us with a survey that fits the description of our property, even after I've explained the issues to them in detail. Specifically, they have moved our property and easement rights to the west to accommodate town officials while giving us no due process or compensation. I believe that if the situation was reversed and I did the things that my neighbors have done, I would have been arrested immediately, so I believe that we're not getting equal protection under the law. My solution is to find out where the town line between the town of Boonton and the Boonton Township is supposed to be as it was laid out in 1867 and move the town line back to its proper location. Have our civil rights been violated? If so, I wish to file all criminal charges against all parties, public and private, that either directly or indirectly violated our civil rights or aided and abetted crimes against our property. In addition, I believe that someone owes us a legitimate survey of our property so that we can proceed with civil actions in a federal court against all of the appropriate parties. Thank you.